You have never once in your entire life experienced true silence, not even for a second. Maybe it's the hum of a fridge, traffic outside, the faint buzz of your phone charging, a TV on in another room. Stop for 1 second. Just listen. That sound, whatever it is, has been in your ears every single day since the day you were born. You have never experienced real silence, not once, and neither has anyone you know. For 300,000 years, every human who came before you had it, daily. It was the background of human existence. And then in less than a century, we deleted it. This isn't a video about noise pollution. It's not about meditation or mindfulness apps or any of that. It's about something much stranger. When researchers put modern people into a room with true silence, a room so quiet you can hear your own heartbeat, your own blood moving through your veins, most people cannot last more than 45 minutes before they start hallucinating. They hear sounds that aren't there. Some panic, some beg to leave. Your great-grandparents could have lived in that room. We can't even sit in it. So what happened to us? For almost all of human history, the world was extraordinarily quiet. Not peaceful quiet, not spa music quiet, just empty of mechanical sound. The loudest thing most humans ever heard was a thunderstorm, or a waterfall, or their own tribe around a fire. On a still night in 1700, the average sound level inside a home was around 20 decibels. That's quieter than a library, quieter than a whisper. It's the sound of almost nothing at all. No fridges, no engines, no notifications, no constant hum. Until the steam engine arrived, no human in history had ever heard a mechanical sound that lasted longer than a few minutes. Every sound they knew had a source, a bird, a river, a person, and then it stopped. That was the world your nervous system was built for, not the one you're living in. The obvious villain is the Industrial Revolution. And yes, factories changed things, but that's not actually when you lost silence. You lost it when noise followed you home. Here's how it happened, layer by layer. In the 1860s, railways made silence rare outside, but your home was still quiet. By the 1920s, radios arrived and put constant sound into living rooms for the first time, but you could still turn it off. By the 1950s, refrigerators put a permanent mechanical hum into every kitchen. For the first time in history, silence disappeared, even when nothing was happening. By the 1990s, a television in the corner ran as background noise, whether anyone was watching or not. And then the phone arrived. And silence didn't just shrink, it basically ended. Your grandparents grew up with quiet houses. Your parents grew up with the TV in the corner. You grew up with notifications. Each generation, the silence shrank by another layer, and nobody voted for it. It just happened. Here's what nobody tells you. Silence wasn't just the absence of noise, it was doing something. Your brain has a system called the default mode network. It activates specifically when external input drops away, when you're not being stimulated, when it's quiet. And what does it do? It processes, it connects memories, it generates creativity, it builds your sense of who you are. For 300,000 years, every human got this automatically, every quiet night, every silent morning, every moment between tasks when the world just paused. Now it almost never activates, because there's always something filling the gap, a podcast on the commute, music while cooking, a video before sleep. We've accidentally engineered the one brain state we needed most completely out of our lives. Silence wasn't empty. It was the operating system. We took it away and then wondered why everyone feels so broken. There's a room in Minneapolis called the Orfield Anechoic Chamber. It holds the world record for the quietest place ever built. The walls absorb 99.99% of all sound. When you're inside, you hear nothing from the outside world, nothing at all. What you do hear is yourself, your heartbeat, the movement of air through your lungs, the faint electrical hum of your own nervous system. Most people find it unbearable within 30 minutes. Some hallucinate. The record for the longest time anyone has voluntarily stayed inside is 45 minutes. Now consider this. Monks in medieval monasteries practiced silence for 40 days at a time. Indigenous cultures across the world used extended silence as a deliberate ritual for vision, for clarity, for contact with something deeper than ordinary thought. These weren't just traditions, they were technologies. What modern people experience as terror in a quiet room, every contemplative tradition in human history called enlightenment. We've spent so long running from silence that our brains now treat it as an emergency. This isn't just philosophical. Chronic background noise raises your cortisol levels. That's the stress hormone. Persistently elevated cortisol is linked to anxiety, weight gain, memory problems, and cardiovascular disease. The World Health Organization estimates that environmental noise is responsible for over 1 million lost healthy life years in Western Europe alone, every year. Studies on children who grow up near airports or highways show measurably lower memory scores and higher rates of anxiety. Sleep noise above 30 decibels measurably increases heart disease risk over time. Most people sleep at well above that. You're not anxious because you're broken. You're anxious because your nervous system has never once had the rest it was designed for. Here's something worth sitting with. Silence is now something only wealthy people can afford. Noise-canceling headphones at 300 pounds, houses far from main roads, silent retreat weekends costing thousands, quiet countryside estates. Every one of those things is a product built to sell you back something that every peasant in 1700 had for free. The poorest person in medieval England slept in more silence than most people watching this can access with money. Think about that. We built a world so loud that we now sell silence as a premium product. Here's the honest answer. Most modern people can no longer tolerate real silence, not because they're weak, but because it's a skill. And like any skill, if you don't practice it, you lose it. Most people fail before 60 seconds. That's not a judgment. That's just the data. The discomfort you feel isn't a sign that something is wrong. It's the sound of a system that's been deprived trying to remember how to work. For 300,000 years, silence wasn't the absence of something. It was the presence of something. A space inside your own mind that you could actually enter, where your thoughts could finish, where you could hear what you actually felt, where you could remember who you were outside of the noise. We didn't outgrow it, we just got too loud to reach it. Tonight, try something. Find the quietest room in your house. Turn off anything with a motor. Put your phone in another room. Don't meditate. Don't try to relax. Just exist. Notice what your brain does in the first 2 minutes. Notice what surfaces when nothing is there to crowd it out. Because whatever that is, that's you, the part of you that only exists in quiet. And we are the first humans in history who have to fight to find it.